There is a reason why I do not allow you, the subscriber, to follow me on Strava. I owe it to people to explain why. Let's go on a bitch and ride, and I'll tell you the story of why you just can't follow me on Strava. This is going to be probably interesting because this all started with some patients of mine who were famous YouTubers, and they helped me and said, hey, we'll give you some advice. I'm like, cool, I need advice because I don't know what the hell I'm doing on YouTube. One of the things that they told me, aside from which camera to get, and I found this was very interesting, is that when they did something and it was clear that they were, let's say, in Portugal or something, that they posted the video a month later so no one can see where they were. They had a totally different type of channel than I did and were different people, because you could definitely find out where I am. Not rocket science. I mean, just Google my name. You know, I have a chiropractic business. The whole point is for people to find you. Let's get on a smooth part of the road, and I'll tell you something that happened about 2 years ago that made me rethink all of this.
Let's just go all in, 'cause I just got to move. Take a look at all the shining lights. Nothing beats that view. Will you meet me on the floor tonight? And it's California. I couldn't have warned you, baby. Ooh.
So here's the story. We had, at my job, a person start calling our office, and she started crawling 20 times per hour. Clearly she was either on drugs, mentally ill, or both, but she was speaking clearly enough that we can understand that she knew who I was. Started claiming that I changed my name to avoid her, and started saying, Dr. Story changed his name and I'm gonna get him. She would use profanity, absurd amounts. And finally, my office manager, Vicky, she hangs up on her. The lady calls right back. Literally, she started to ruin our business. Poor Vicky, she was just trying to do her job, but every time the phone rang, we didn't know whether it was this crazy person or a real patient. And when I tell you it was 20 calls per hour, I'm not exaggerating. And she would just call and F this, F that. At the time, I didn't have caller ID because I didn't have it. We got a new phone that had caller ID. It turned out her phone number was registered in Las Vegas. So at first I thought, oh, okay, so she's not really a threat per se. Hold that thought. We would go away for lunch, and literally we'd come back from lunch, 2-hour lunch, there'd be 40 messages. Now I'm sure she called more than that, but my message machine could only take 40 messages. So we were unable to even get calls from patients. The other big issue was I told Vicky, take the phone off the hook for a little while. Once she gets a number of busy signals, she'll quit. Well, that doesn't work because we had 2 lines. So I finally went to the police, and you know how that goes. It just doesn't go well. They can't do anything unless there's a body on the ground. But then it got serious. What ends up happening is she's doing these threats, and we're just kind of annoying her by not really giving in. She says something to the effect of, I'm gonna get you on your bike. And that was when it got like, oh brother, that isn't good. She started threatening that she's gonna run me over, she's gonna get me, you know, that type of thing. And that's when it starts getting a little edgy. So, let me tell you another reason why you can't follow me on Strava.
I just want to take one more sip. Drink it in.
By the way, I love this bike. Now let's do the Larry T story. By the way, that's this guy up here. This is an example of 0.5% of the people that watch cycling videos. And this guy is really sneaky. He knows what he's doing. So at first you think you have a follower. He's watching every video, making comments, but not super friendly, more manipulative friendly. Imagine if you told a woman that she's really beautiful, except she needs to lift her breasts a little bit. I mean, with a comment like that, you're gonna get your butt kicked by your wife, but that's only because you told that comment to one of her friends. And before you know it, Larry T has commented 40 times on every single video. Now, I'm not sure what psychologically you call this, bait and switch or just passive aggressive. I don't know what the word for it is. Some people would say you're just being a but that wouldn't be nice. So anyway, you just try to, assume that most people that are watching a cycling channel are just genuinely nice people because, they're cyclists. And I don't know what a bot is, but my wife said, maybe it's just a bot. Some people will say, well, why don't you just block him? And that's a great question. And the reason why you don't initially do it is you can't tell whether the person is just trying to be funny or maybe just has a disagreement. Or let's face it, people are allowed to be stupid. But a view is a view is a view. Cha-ching. You ever noticed all the YouTubers now are going, please just watch to the end because I need the viewership and it's good for the algorithm and it lets me know that you like the video. That's the reason, because the more views you get, the more money you make. Also, sometimes it's entertainment. It's kind of funny to see what some people will put in the comments. I mean, sometimes the comments actually make you laugh. So why not keep them on? So what I would do is if Larry T's comments were really aggressive or nasty and just absurd, I would just delete them. Well, he figured that out because there's a way to comment on someone's channel without the owner of the channel really knowing, and that's by commenting on other comments. You just can't keep track of the thousands of comments that go on behind the scenes. And of course, he knows this. So by the way, I'm getting to the point of why you can't follow me on Strava. The last thing that has occurred in Strava is very concerning, is I pretty much do the same routes all the time, unless I'm doing some adventure. The start and stop points are always the same. In other words, a person who follows me on Strava could basically find out where I live. And there has been, in the history of Strava, quite a bit of people that they come home from work and they basically have their garage broken into and their bikes are gone. Now, why would someone steal just bikes? I'll tell you. Because they're following you on Strava, they know where you live, and then all it takes is you just gotta go to my website, find out when I'm at work. Clearly I'm not at home. You know he rides Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sundays. So you show up on a Wednesday when I'm at work, steal all my bikes. That happens. And so I don't want people following me on Strava, because you can find out where I live. And I understand the reason why people want to follow others on Strava, because you just wanna know where these routes are. Maybe you'd like to do one of the routes that I do, but I can't risk potentially someone being a nut. Here's another thing, and this is weird. In the comments section, a lot of times people will ask, what is your height? What is your shoe size? What's your inseam? What size bike do you ride? What size handlebars do you have? And it's like, what are we on, Match.com? We're not dating. Not only that, I'm a married man. I don't know my size. My wife does all the shopping for me. I don't think I've ever bought any clothing. And as far as my size, I don't even know. My wife doesn't know. We both close our eyes. We don't know what the hell's going on. But I know why you're asking this. It's because people are trying to find out, does my bike fit me? Example, we did a video, Daniel and I, about how we were trying to get a friend into cycling. Daniel found him a bike. It's a 60 centimeter bike. And there were so many comments of, dude, that bike's too big for the guy. Nobody needs a bike that big. You don't even know him. Have you noticed that there hasn't been a single video with him in it? You don't know his inseam. You don't know how he hangs. You don't know his riding experience. There's so many people that tell you that you're wrong and they're anonymous. What's the point? And here's the last thing, kind of food for thought, is from my other channel, it's kind of funny, is this. I'm gonna pull it out of my pocket. The dreaded banana. You would be shocked how many people are so violently aggressive when they see you eating a banana. They think that you're gonna end up having diabetes, insulin resistance, gain weight, evidently that works, and create unnecessary harm to the environment. Bunch of idiots. But that's the world we live in. So if you have something negative to say, I'm okay with it. If you don't like me, that's fine. Watch my YouTube channel for chiropractic. You can comment all you want there. On this particular channel, I just, I gotta protect myself. Hey, Todd. So in summary, there's a reason why I don't have strangers follow me on Strava. The first is because you don't know me, and I don't really want to have you know where I live, when I ride, what the times I ride are, and when I'm at work. The other thing is that while I realize that 99.9% of people are good, it's the 1%, or the half of 1%, or the guy that doesn't know math. I can't remember, get what I even said. There's a percentage of people that are very manipulative, can get infiltrated into your social media, and then just make your life a living hell. And I realize there's ways to drop them, but why even do that? The other reason is because all day long, that's all I do, is deal with problems, deal with people. My whole job is social. And then I ride. And sometimes you just want to not be social and not share every aspect of your life. So while I understand why people want to follow you on Strava, it's just I'm a little exhausted from all the social media stuff. So I hope you enjoy the videos, but you know, this is where I ride. It's a pretty cool place. This is Somis, by the way, just so you know. It's just an awesome place to ride. Very little cars on a morning like this. Yeah.
I wanted to know what it's like to drive down Sunset Boulevard with you.